Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating life of a true titan of history, a man who almost single-handedly dragged a vast ancient empire into the modern age, Peter the Great. Get ready for an epic journey through 17th and 18th century Russia, a story of ambition, reform, and a king who wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Born in 1672, Peter Alexeyevich Romanov wasn't just any Tsar. He inherited a Russia that, while geographically immense, was largely isolated from the technological and cultural advancements sweeping through Western Europe. It was a land clinging to medieval traditions, often viewed as backward by its European neighbors. But Peter? He saw a different future, a vision of a powerful, modern Russia, a force to be reckoned with on the world stage. His early life was tumultuous, marked by power struggles and political intrigue. He technically became co-Tsar at the age of 10, but true power was held by his half-sister, Sophia. This period, far from being a weakness, actually fueled his unique curiosity. Peter spent much of his youth outside the Kremlin, mingling with foreigners in Moscow's German quarter, learning about everything from shipbuilding to military tactics. He was insatiably curious, hands-on, and utterly unconventional for a monarch. This insatiable curiosity culminated in what became known as the Grand Embassy, a groundbreaking journey through Western Europe from 1697 to 1698. Imagine the absolute monarch of Russia, traveling incognito, working as a ship carpenter in Dutch shipyards, studying anatomy in England, and observing factories in Germany. He wasn't just touring, he was learning, absorbing knowledge, and envisioning how these advancements could transform his homeland. He saw the power of modern navies, the efficiency of organized armies, and the potential of advanced industry. This wasn't tourism. It was industrial espionage on a royal scale. His return to Russia marked the beginning of an era of unprecedented, often brutal, reform. Peter was determined to westernize Russia, and he wasted no time. He immediately tackled the military, transforming a largely disorganized force into a professional standing army, and establishing the first modern Russian navy, a monumental task given Russia's lack of warm water ports. He understood that national power depended on military might, especially access to the sea. But his reforms weren't just about cannons and ships. Peter tackled Russian society head-on. He famously ordered boyars, the Russian nobility, to shave their traditional long beards and adopt Western clothing. This might seem trivial, but it was a powerful symbolic act, forcing a visual break from old traditions and signaling a new era. He even promoted social gatherings where men and women could mix, encouraging a more European style of social interaction, which was revolutionary for the time. Education was another cornerstone of his vision. Peter established schools focusing on mathematics, navigation, and engineering, realizing that a modern nation needed educated citizens and skilled workers. He simplified the Russian alphabet, making texts easier to read, and founded Russia's first newspaper, pushing for the dissemination of knowledge and news. He understood that an informed populace, even if controlled, was a more effective populace. Economically, Peter was a mercantilist. He encouraged the development of industries, particularly those related to military production, like metallurgy and textiles. He brought in foreign experts to teach new techniques and established state-run factories. His aim was self-sufficiency and the ability to compete with Europe's leading powers, both militarily and economically. These reforms, while often forced and demanding, laid the groundwork for Russia's future industrialization. One of Peter's most enduring and visible legacies is the founding of St. Petersburg. He didn't just build a new capital, he literally willed it into existence, often at immense human cost, on a swampy stretch of the Baltic coast. This window to the west was strategically vital, providing Russia with a warm water port and a direct link to Europe. It was designed from scratch as a modern, European-style city, a stark contrast to ancient traditional Moscow, and a clear symbol of Peter's new vision for Russia. The sheer scale and ambition of this project are truly mind-boggling. However, Peter's reign wasn't without its dark sides. His reforms were often implemented with an iron fist, leading to widespread suffering and resistance. He was ruthless in dealing with opposition, famously executing his own son, Alexei, for alleged treason. The human cost of building St. Petersburg and his military campaigns was enormous, with countless lives lost due to harsh conditions, disease, and forced labor. His methods were autocratic and brutal, reflecting the harsh realities of power in his era. The Great Northern War against Sweden, which lasted over 20 years, was another defining feature of Peter's reign. It was a brutal struggle for control of the Baltic Sea, essential for Russia's aspirations as a naval power. Despite initial defeats, Peter's perseverance and strategic brilliance, culminating in the decisive victory at Poltava in 1709, ultimately secured Russia's access to the Baltic and established it as a major European power. The Treaty of Neustadt in 1721 officially ended the war, granting Russia significant territories and recognizing its new status. It was a hard-won victory that fundamentally reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Europe. By the time Peter the Great died in 1725, Russia was utterly transformed. From an isolated, largely medieval state, it had become a recognized European power, with a modern army and navy, a new capital city, and a burgeoning industrial base. He established institutions that would shape Russia for centuries, including the Senate and the colleges, proto-ministries, laying the foundation for a more centralized and bureaucratic state. He didn't just modernize Russia, he redefined what it meant to be Russian on the world stage. His impact was profound and lasting. He set Russia on a trajectory toward becoming a major player in European politics and culture. While his methods were often harsh and his personal life complex, his unwavering determination and ambitious vision undeniably shaped the course of Russian history. He truly was the Great, a monarch who dared to dream big and had the force of will to turn those dreams into reality, forever changing the destiny of an empire. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey through the life of Peter the Great. If you found this dive into Russian history as fascinating as I did, please give this video a like, share it with your fellow history buffs, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories from the past. Your support helps us keep bringing these incredible narratives to life. We'll see you in the next one.